Hi and welcome to another KC coding tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how you can set up the IP address on your Windows 7 machine to be static rather than dynamic. Just so you guys know, what that means is that when your router tries to assign a new IP address to that particular machine, it won't. It will just take the standby address that the machine already has assigned to it. So this is nice when you're setting up a server or if you're port forwarding to a specific computer and you don't want that computer's IP to change. So the first thing to do would be to figure out what the original IP address is. And so to do that, you want to open up Command Prompt. And you open up Command Prompt by going, clicking on Run under the Start menu. Or if you go just to search, you can just search CMD and it'll be the only thing that pops up. So I'm going to assume that you're already connected to your network with a dynamic IP address, just like you normally would. So what you want to do is you want to type in IPCONFIG for Internet Protocol configuration. And it's going to print out a whole bunch of information for you, and it's going to be just about how your machine is connected to the network. So if you connect with an Ethernet connection, look under Ethernet adapter local area connection. And I'm sure it'll say something like wireless or something if it's a wireless connection, so just look for that. And look for your IPv4 address because that's the standard we're on. Now it should be 192.168 and then some numbers afterwards depending on what type of network you have. So we're just going to keep that open and off to the side because you'll need to know that number later. And then the next step that you want to take is you want to go to your network icon. It might be in this tray here or it might be just on the top. So just right click on that and then go Open Network and Sharing Center. And once that's open, go change adapter settings. Now right-click on the network connection that you're using. If you have a wireless card but it's not working right now or you're not using it where you are, don't click on that. You want to click on the one that you're using. So the Ethernet if it's Ethernet, wireless if it's wireless. Right-click and go to Properties. Okay, now there's a whole list of checkboxes here. What you want to look for is Internet Protocol version 4. So just double click on that and it'll open up a box for you. Now you want to click on Use the following IP address. So what you want to do is type in 192.168 and now look over here where it tells you what IP address you currently have, just so that you know that it's that it'll work for sure. So mine's .10.1.10, so just make sure it's the same number. Now chances are if you're running on a normal network, it's just going to be 255.255.255.0, and that's your subnet mask. I'm not really going to get into what exactly your subnet mask does. It's just for most home networks and most small business networks, it's going to be this type of network. And your default gateway, what you do is actually you should be able to type in the first three numbers. So 192.168.1. And then instead of putting the 10 or 15 or 125 that you normally put there, just put another 1. And just to make sure that that's correct, actually, we're going to go back over to the screen and look under Default Gateway. And you can also see it says 192.168.1.1. Oh, and actually, you can just read the subnet mask right off there, too. So there's no real guessing at all. You can just read these 3 lines and put the 3 lines in here. So it works perfectly. And now under Preferred DNS Settings, you can always go, one of the ways that I like to do it is I like to go with Google's DNS settings, so it's 8.8.8.8, and then the next one is 4.4, sorry, my mistake, it's 8.8.4.4, and then all you have to do is click OK on there, and then click OK again, and now your IP address is statically set to that. So it won't change no matter what. So what we'll do is just go back to the command prompt and write ipconfig again. And yeah, so it's still set to all that information there, so we know that it at least hasn't broken it. Now, I always recommend whenever you close a prompt or a box like we just did, just to go back and open it up and double check. So we're just going to do that. And all of our settings are still saved. So yeah, you're all good to go now, and your IP address is statically set to the IP address that you assigned it to right there. If you want to change it to something else that isn't listed in command prompt, you can go ahead and do that, but you run the risk of it being outside the range that your router allows. Remember, it's normally anywhere from the number 2 all the way to 254, so nothing greater than that. So yeah, this has been Casey for Casey Coding, and I'm logging on.